So, how's it going, guys? um, I'm here. I'm looking good. um, so yeah, I know this isn't exactly like high quality. It's better. It's probably the best quality video that's ever been on my channel, though. So that's good. Um, but I don't know. I just wanted to do something, over the quarantine and everything. So that's gonna date this video for sure. If I ever get big, you'll be like, you know, that he made that during quarantine because the whole coronavirus thing is going on. But I just wanted to do something, and I figured, you know, I wanted to make my thoughts known instead of having to tell everybody. So I just want to go in depth in everything about Doom Eternal. Just came out on the 20th. I changed my Xbox location to Australia to play it a day early. Um, I had to update it, so I still didn't get to play it till the next day. But oh well. Um, so good. Oh my gosh, it's such a good game. I guess I'll give you a little background because I'm a little bit biased towards the Doom series. I would have liked Doom Eternal, even if it was more of the same of 2016, but it's really not. It's so much better. But the first time I was ever introduced to the Doom series in any capacity, sadly to say, is the Doom movie. I guess I inherited my grandpa's like love for really dumb, shitty action movies, and one of the first I saw and just completely fell in love with was Doom. Mostly because the first person sequence towards the end of the movie. At the time, I didn't really get to play a lot of first person shooters, but I really loved them. My cousins were always playing them, right? And my cousins never let me play. So I would put on the movie and I would go to that scene and I would pretend that I was playing the game. And yeah, um, years later, I found out you could play the shareware version of Doom on Congregate, a website that primarily had Flash games on it. And I want to say the guy who made the Brutal Doom mod put it on there, but I don't know for sure. So don't, you know, uh, you can fact check me if I'm wrong. That's okay. I'm not saying I'm like completely right. But so yeah, I've played that so much when I should have been doing my computer work. Um, and I played that a long time, and then I played Doom 3, weirdly enough. Played Doom 3, and then I got the full version of Doom 1. I can't remember. I think I bought it, but I played that and I beat the whole thing, and I just loved it. And I beat it on every difficulty except for Nightmare because the enemies respawn, and that's just ridiculous. It's like that Nightmare is harder than Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal's Night. Well, Doom Eternal's Nightmare is pretty hard. I haven't finished the playthrough. I'm on like the second level on that one. So, but I just started. To be fair, I haven't really. I've been putting time in extra life mode because I'm trying to get the Phobos skin. But I'm going off on tangents. Um, so yeah, I played Doom 3 and I beat that. I only beat the first campaign. I didn't beat the DLC ones, but I beat that on the original Xbox. And I mean, I liked it. A lot of people didn't like it. I liked it. I thought it was great. I definitely was not like the first two Dooms, but neither is Doom 2016 or Doom Eternal. Not very much like they have like I guess the theme is the same. Doom 3's theme is a little bit different. It's a lot more like Dead Space, but I just think for its technical prowess and everything, and the gameplay is still fun in my opinion. I had a lot of fun playing that. Worst shotgun in the whole series, maybe in the whole video games. I don't know, cause I just the Doom 3 shotgun is awful, dude. It's so bad. But yeah, after that, Doom 2016 came out. Doom 2016 was the first game that I bought on launch day ever. I've never bought a game on launch day. I usually like wait until it's pre-owned. But I worked a job for my math teacher, Mr. Weimer. Anybody who went to River Gold, math teacher Mr. Weimer, I did weed whacking job for him, and I made like $40. No, I made like $40. I think it was close to 50. But I didn't know how much new games were. So I gave my dad the money. I said, "Hey, while you're out, just pick up the game for me because I couldn't really leave the house. I was like, just pick it up for me. Just do me that." And he spotted me the extra 20 because he found out there's it's like 59.99. It's not $40. I thought it was like 39.99, but oh well, hindsight's 2020. But he bought it for me and I played it. It was on PS4. And dude, oh my gosh, the opening scene blew my mind. It was like nothing I'd ever played before. I played that all the way through, and I beat that on every difficulty, including Ultra Nightmare, which took me forever, like forever. Um, and that game was just it was so good. It's definitely not a perfect game. Um, you can say that because after playing Doom Eternal, you can look back and see all the things that were improved upon. So, if something can be improved upon, it's not perfect. But then again, nothing is. But I will say Doom 2016 is probably it was my favorite game I ever played, for sure, until Doom Eternal came out, which is now my new favorite game. Uh, so yeah, so I didn't really like the Doom 2016 multiplayer mode at first. I didn't really have online, but recently I've gotten into it. It was okay. It's fun. It's an arena shooter. It's very different than the campaign. I think that's why a lot of people didn't really like it. Also, the beta was, a disaster. But the campaign was so good. I liked all the themes were good. It's very Doom. The core of it is very Doom. The gameplay is a lot more like Quake, but I like Quake a lot. So um, yeah. So I've been waiting for Doom Eternal like a while now. And I've been playing Doom 2016 over and over again, and then Doom Eternal came out. I pre-ordered it a few months ago. I think in like uh late no, not November. I think February. I pre-ordered it in February. Yeah. And I was like I've been counting down the days. And my little brother's like calls me and he's like, "Yo, I'm playing it early because I'm game sharing with him." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm playing it early because I set my Xbox location in Australia." And I'm like, "Dude, big brain, genius. That's probably the smartest thing he ever did." But I played it. It got to the part where it's like ready to start, because it's an Xbox thing. It's got that. And the only thing that was available till it was fully downloaded was the first mission, and I played the first mission, Hell on Earth. Oh my god, blew my mind. It's so good. Everything about it is so good. The first mission is like the tutorial mission basically. You get the shotgun, you get two mods for it. You get the chainsaw, and I think you get the rifle and one mod for it. So you either get the micro missiles or the sniper. I picked the sniper because it's just very good for it. It's much better than the sniper rifle in Doom 2016 because it's got the weak points. So it's really good. Also, really high damage. It can insta kill any of the fodder enemies. Um, and the different enemy classifications, they added that too. So in Doom 2016, all of the demons were a threat except for like the zombies. And now in Doom Eternal, a lot of the enemies aren't really a threat. They're listed as fodder enemies, which are the imps, the zombie soldiers, the possessed, and the maker. Oh, spoilers by the way, if you want to play it. I won't get too into it, but the maker drones, because you if you know the trailers, you're gonna fight the makers eventually. But so I won't go too into depth. But um, I'll just talk about the gameplay then, not the story. But the gameplay is much more refined. In Doom 2016, you had glory kills for health, you had chainsaw for ammo. Uh, it was it was fast paced. The gameplay was paced, but Doom Eternal adds a dash move. It adds the blood punch, and it adds all this stuff. The flame belch for armor. They added that too. And it's just like it speeds up the gameplay so much. The monkey bar swinging is great. I personally love the platform. I always thought the platforming was going to be good. Weirdly enough, a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of the Doom purists. a lot of the Doomer boomers. But personally, I was so stoked for the platforming because I just figured it would add. Doom 2016 had a lot of verticality already, so I figured if the monkey bars and the climbing would add so much more verticality, and it did. It did. It definitely, I think it's like tons of fun. I liked the platforming a lot. Um, and I played the campaign on Ultraviolence the first time, and it was, I mean, it was tough, but it was mostly tough because I was like learning the mechanics and stuff. Now that I played it through, the game is definitely not as hard. Um, it also may, because I'm not really good at video games, believe it or not. But Nightmare is definitely hard, definitely much harder. You can definitely tell because it's super ball crushing. If if you don't have the mechanics down quite, uh, and I mean I have them down, but even if you do have them down, I'd say it's a lot harder. The AI is more aggressive. In Doom 2016, you could just run laps around the arena, and the demons couldn't catch you. But now they'll cut you off. They will actively get in front of you and cut you off when you're running, which is just a pain in the ass because your only option is to go through them, and I think that's the point. The push forward combat is much more the focus because they want you to glory kill. They want you to try to they want you to chainsaw. They want you to try to outsmart the demons. They want you to use the weak points, abuse the cooldowns of the ice grenade and the frag grenade. And I'd say, dude, my most satisfying experience was towards the later Slayer gates, which are like an optional combat encounter you can do in six of the stages because there's six of them. In the later Slayer gates, they put the really tougher enemies like the Marauder and the Tyrant in. The Tyrant isn't really that hard. He takes a lot of damage and he can deal a lot of damage, and he doesn't really have any points. But I definitely my strategy for him is freezing him and then shooting him with the rocket launcher or shooting him with or just using the any high damage weapon basically. So the chain gun or the plasma gun, really good against the Tyrant. Um, but the Marauders are definitely difficult when you first play against them. Like I remember in the first arena where you first meet him, uh, I was like, oh my god, it took me forever to get his stuff down. Now that I've played through it and I've beaten a few of them, I've definitely gotten better. And also I've learned the combo. If you switch from the super shotgun to the ballista, so you shoot him with the super shotgun, stun him, and then switch the ballista and shoot him, dude, it like halves the fight. It like cuts the fight in half completely. It's so much easier. But one of the layer Slayer gates was with one Marauder and a bunch of the Maker drones and the Mancubuses and Arachnotrons, and it was just harder because there was a lot of demons that were really fast that were hitting me really hard, and then I had to deal with the Marauder and his dog is the worst. Don't even get me started on the dog. But once you take out like the other demons, the Marauder is a lot less to deal with because like you basically need to just focus on him. If you don't just focus on him, you're gonna make your life way harder. So definitely get rid of all the other demons. I think they're in one of the early showings of it. The director of the game, his name escapes me right now. He definitely he said the same thing. Is that you definitely want to take out the other demons and you just want to focus on him. But I did that Slayer gate like, dude, felt like 1,000 times, and I was getting so pissed off. And I finally did it. I finally beat it because I think I was having trouble killing the Arachnotrons because they kept getting away from me even when I shot their gun off, and they'd blow me up. And then, but once I did that, once I killed the Arachnotrons and I just focused on him, and oh my god, I was like, oh, I was in bliss when I beat it because it was just so satisfying. I think that's my favorite part about the game, and I like the difficulty of it because I don't really like difficult games. I don't really like anything difficult. I want things to be easy, or at least I want things to come naturally for me. But I like Doom Eternal because I feel like it's hard. It's not hard, but it's like there's a learning curve for sure. There is a learning curve. But once you figure it out and once you beat it and once you get past the next level or you learn a certain mechanic, it's so satisfying. It's so gratifying to like finally win, finally overcome that obstacle. And so that was really great. That was some of my best moments where I was getting my ass kicked for a while and then I beat it and I just go, "Yes. Yes, that's like the best part of the game." In my opinion, I'd have to say is just that overwhelming sense of I overcame it and I finished it, and I figured it out and I beat this enemy and I know how to do it now, so the next time I can beat him. It was like it's like how they were saying, you go through these belts, you're at the beginning of the game you're a white belt, by the end of the game you're a black belt and you know the mechanics and you have all the weapons and you should be able to do it basically. Uh, the boss fights were good. I won't say who you fight against. I don't want spoilers, but the boss fights were really good mechanically. I think definitely better than the boss fights in Doom 2016. The boss fights in Doom 2016 were so cheesable. I have to admit, occasionally, I did occasionally partake of the slow down BFG time mechanic. If you're not familiar, you shoot the BFG and one of the tendrils will hit the boss, and you hold the weapon wheel and it'll slow down time, but the BFG will continue to damage the boss, and it would take out like half the health bar in one shot. So if you fire like a couple shots, you basically beat the boss, which kind of sucks, kind of takes it out. But if you're doing a speed run or if you're doing Ultra Nightmare, you kind of that kind of appeals to you. That's why I did it. I did it on Ultra Nightmare because that shit was hard. Oh my god, I was like, I'm not gonna die here. I just got this far. I'm not gonna lose. Um, but yeah, so I don't know. I guess I can talk about battle mode, the multiplayer mode. Uh, I like battle mode. Would I have rather had an arena shooter mode like in Doom 2016? I'm not really sure. I definitely would have liked the choice to have both. I think it would have been cool to have the arena shooter mode and battle mode. Uh, but the arena shooter mode that was in Doom 2016, the multiplayer in that, was developed wasn't developed by it. It was developed by an outside studio. I don't know which one. But I do know it's developed by somebody else. Uh, but battle mode was developed by id, and you can kind of tell. The thing was multiplayer didn't really appeal to me because it didn't have like it felt kind of rough. I guess it felt like I don't know exactly. It felt kind of like sterile, whereas the campaign was like very drenched in this kind of aesthetic. Whereas like everything in the multiplayer was like clean almost in a weird way. It didn't like I don't know. It felt plastic, I guess. Um, Whereas battle mode definitely feels more like Doom. Definitely feels more like at least what the new Dooms are going for, because I know in the original Doom there was the multiplayer was pretty big, relatively. I mean, it's definitely not as big as something like, Quake Arena or, all those, other arena shooters that came after it. But the Doom multiplayer, the original Doom multiplayer was pretty big. Uh, I do know that. Um, but it's like battle mode's good. I like it. It's definitely harder to play as the Slayer, until you like come up with good strategies. At first, the demons like are surprisingly tough to beat. I don't know if it's because there's two of them or because they have much more health than the ones in the campaign do. That's for sure. They don't have the same mechanics. Like the Marauder is much easier to kill theoretically in battle mode because he doesn't block shots, but the mobility of the Marauder in the multiplayer is like insane because it's basically the same thing as the Slayer. He has the double jump and the dash, but he just can't climb on monkey bars or use the teleporters or the boost things. If you're a demon, you can't use any of those. Um, but the Slayer has basically all his gun. Well, he has all of them except for the BFG until you get an Ultra power up or whatever later on in the match. And I'd say that depending on who the Slayer is, if they're a skilled Slayer, it'll definitely be harder to play as the demons because the Slayer, like my personal strategy is I basically shoot both demons until they're both low health, and then I'll find the demon that has the most mobility. So basically the one who can get away from me fast, which is usually the Marauder. So I usually kill the Marauder first, and then I quickly try to kill whoever else is there. I don't know why, but I keep getting paired up with people who are playing. One person's playing as the Marauder, one person's playing as the Mancubus. I don't know why that pair is so popular right now. But the Mancubus, I always go for the Mancubus second, and take them out. I like to use the chain gun and the plasma gun because they just shred through the player demons for sure. Like it's nothing. Um, and so that's my strat personally, personally. And you definitely want to stay mobile as the Slayer if you're playing battle mode because the demons, if they corner you, the player demons, if they corner you, it's over. Basically, I've gotten a lot of times where I got caught in like a corner or I got sandwiched in between them and I just died and I lost rounds because of that. Um, And if you play like really aggressive demons, uh, like the player demons, if they're playing really aggressive, they can come out on top. Most of the time, they will, unless you're very cunning. Like surprisingly, there are not a lot of times where the Slayer is chasing the demons. For me, when I play Slayer, a lot of the times the demons are chasing me. What I like to do is I definitely I like to get ahead of them, and then I'll use the portals and I'll get around them basically, and I'll come from behind. That's the best way. So I mean, I don't know. I don't want to go into all my strats and stuff because that's pretty boring. You want my opinions on the game, I guess, if you're watching this. But yeah, playing as the demons is fun. I like playing as the demons. Very different mechanics for each demon. Who my favorite demon is, that's hard to say. Uh, my favorite demon, like, not to play as, but in general in the game, is the Pain Elemental. I just love his design. I love his little grumpy old man, kind of animations. He's great. Gameplay wise, I don't know. I don't really like playing as him. Uh, his mobility is pretty good because he has the dash, similar to the Revenant and the Marauder, but his shield isn't very good. It just blocks the front, and people can easily get from behind. You can shoot it out for high damage, but it's kind of hard to hit, believe it or not, because it's kind of slow moving. Um, his Lost Soul projectile, his like basically primary fire, doesn't do that much damage. I'd say. At least I don't really get a lot of kills. Like you can if you hit the Slayer like a few times, like you have to make sure your shots hit. Then yeah, but its splash damage isn't that good. The Marauder is pretty good. Definitely the most mobile demon in my opinion. Not very vertical, believe it or not. His dog is good. Not as overpowered as it is in the campaign, thankfully, but it's good. Definitely, if you get the best friend Berkey, that's what I usually do if I play as Marauder. Marauder's probably my favorite demon to play gameplay wise, because you can put a lot of pressure on the Slayer as a Marauder, and if you have someone who's playing as like the Revenant or the Archvile, then you can definitely really easily take out the Slayer if they play good, because you just get that sandwich in, and you throw out axes, and you're up close shooting them with the shotgun, and then you send out your dog, and then someone playing the Revenant, and they barrage or anything like that, or the Archviles playing as the summon, because there's different subclasses, kind of. If you have the Archvile playing as a summoner class, they can send in all kinds of demons, and those demons are pretty useful. I love putting a demon in the path of the Slayer, or the Noxus hazard, because that takes like 15 damage, I think, or 5, which is a lot if the Slayer stands in it, and it gets more as they keep standing in it. And a lot of Slayers don't really just stand there, but they definitely will take damage, at least, if they walk through it. Um, the Revenant's pretty good. I like the Revenant. I'd say he's probably my second favorite demon to play. He's also very mobile. He can do really high damage with his rockets, and the missile broad is pretty good. He's got a boost that when you use twice will overheat your jetpack, and then you can't fly or boost. That's on a cooldown. And then if you can use your jetpack, which is pretty good. You can stay vertical, but it's really slow going up, and you definitely don't want to be in the air. A lot of the air demons are weak. Like the pain elemental is definitely pretty weak because you're when you're in the air, you're not very mobile, and you can definitely take a lot of damage, for sure. Whereas the ground demons are a lot faster. The Archvile, I haven't really played as the Archvile quite yet. I just haven't. It just doesn't appeal to me. I don't really like the idea like his gameplay. The idea of how he's supposed to be played. I don't really like it. But I will have to get around to it because I need the the what's it called? The challenge complete where I play as all the demons. So I will eventually play as him. Who else? The Mancubus is actually, I was kind of shitting on him earlier. The Mancubus is kind of like the tank. He has the most health of all the demons, but he's definitely slower. He still has some mobility because all the demons have pretty fast mobility to keep up with the Slayer, but he's definitely the slowest. He he's so easy to kill, basically. Unless you have an Archvile on your team who can shield him, or the Mancubus knows what he's doing, basically, and knows how to keep his distance or sneak up. He's definitely better as an ambush predator, which is kind of weird. I noticed that his flamethrowers do a lot of damage, so you want to get up in close. But if you get up in close as the Mankey Ibis, you're pretty much dead. The Slayer can do a lot of damage. So a good way to do it is hide somewhere in the Slayer's path, shoot out a smoke bomb, and then just flame him. And then if you have someone come up from behind and sandwich the Slayer, uh, it's over for him basically. I've had a lot of wins just from smoke bombing and then using flamethrowers on him. So that's a strat, little strat for you. But who else is there? Revenant. Uh, I think that's all of them. There's five, right? Yeah. Mancubus, Revenant, Pain Elemental, Marauder, Archvile. Yeah, that's all of them. Uh, so yeah, I don't know what else really to talk about. It's a great game. Really love the campaign. The story's good. I like all the lore. The lore drop that they did towards the end of the game blew my mind. Blew my mind. I'm very happy about it. Confirmed the theory that I had, my personal theory, confirmed. So that's cool. Um, very good. If you're a Doom fan, you're gonna be happy about it. For sure. Especially if you. I don't want to spoil it, but if you're a Doom fan, you're gonna love Doom Eternal. Basically, if it's pretty great. Um, and yeah, that's it, man. Thank you for watching. Maybe I'll do other reviews or other videos since I'm on quarantine. Do a quarantine log, maybe something stupid. I don't know. If you want me to review anything else or something, let me know in the comments. If that'd be cool. Peace.